It's been a while since we've had some good, high-quality women's hockey, Joe. Joining us now in the studio, though, we have Jasmine Horner-Pascoe from the Auckland Steel. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
How's the knee?
Good. I got cleared probably 2 or 3 weeks ago now.
Cool.
So yeah, it feels good, but I think it's definitely a mental game at the moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That whole recovery has just been amazing because, I mean, I remember you posted on your social media trying to find like an ACL brace, heading over to Iceland. In the end, was it Sunny that came through?
Yes, yep. Sunny had a contact and Misha just pushed and pushed. Like she got me in for an MRI. So I did it. We were flying, I think the 18th or something. I did it on the night of the 16th and she just pushed and pushed in Auckland for that MRI. Got me in with a sports doctor and then, Sunny and Herb just pulled through with the brace.
So with like an injury like that, that's pretty serious. What is the kind of road to recovery like there for you?
It's long. Yeah. For me, I've played, 22 years now, and that was my first big injury. It was frustrating, especially in COVID times, because like when I got to the stage where I could be in the gym, we went into another lockdown. So I wasn't in the gym. And then for the first time in my life, I really struggled with motivation. So it was just long road.
What was it like playing with the injury? Because like your knees are pretty important. Did you feel like weirdly like you couldn't really rely on the knee at all?
Yeah, like edges wise. So when I got told that it was a full tear, all I could say to the guy was, I'm still playing. So like straight away, like that was the first thing I said to him, and Misha, our team physio, was looking at me like, oh, okay. And like Rachel Park and Jeff were like, oh yeah, we don't see it happening kind of. I remember walking through Singapore airport and I'm limping and they're looking at me like, oh God. But the whole time I was just like, no, I'm going to play. And then I hopped on ice for that first time in Iceland. And like pushing on one side of edge, I was like, okay, that's not the good. So I just relied on the other side.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was just, I was going to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And
Typical hockey player.
Right, yeah. Just that determination to represent your country and be out there. It's awesome to see. Even better now that you're fully recovered.
Yes, yeah.
And so now looking forward to the Auckland Steel season. How much time has the team had together to prepare?
So we've probably been training as a team for maybe a month now. So not a lot. It's quite hard to get ice time and stuff in Auckland. But we're having good turnouts and stuff when we do train, so that's really good.
Now I know because a bunch of the girls that play in the NZWIHL league, they play in the hockey house leagues. Also the AHL. Joe, I know you're in a team with Lachlan.
And I played with Jazz a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
so
Blues.
Yeah, I kind of
How was he on D?
He's solid. Yeah.
Well, I'm solid.
Solid in frame.
No, I just gave the puck to Jazz and then she just did whatever she could do and tried to pull us out of the shitstorm that I'd created in our own zone. But yeah, I mean, how is that with the women's side playing in like the BHL? Were you playing alongside Ice Blacks and stuff as well?
Yeah, that's really cool. I always like playing up with those guys and things because they really push you. There's no time to relax, like especially when it comes to back checking and stuff. If you've lost the puck, it's not like, okay, turn around, cruise, let's see if we can get it. It's like, oh God, they're gone. They're like in the neutral zone. So yeah, it really pushes you. And if you're playing at that level prior to a league like this, that's your mindset, like turn and go.
Yeah.
Looking at that roster, unfortunately, a friend of the show, Jana Cavell, is unable to play in the season. We talked off air that there's a bit of a clash there with the inline season, which is a bit unfortunate. But there is a really good mix there of experienced players and some of the more young up-and-coming talent coming through. So looking at that, how would you describe, the state of women's hockey just in Auckland?
Yeah, I think we're going through that, like the kind of recycle, I guess. I don't know. There's a better word for it. But, you play at this level. I think we had like 12 years in this league where we won it or we lost like once to Canterbury. But now we're getting that reshuffle of new players coming through who are just super keen. And it's just really cool to see, Like, we're not going to be here forever and you need to see that. Like, we've got a little goalie. I think I got told she's like 13 that's training with us at the moment. And she's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go to step in or something and she's just all over me. I'm like, where did you come from? But it's so cool to see. And they're just real keen. Like, you get on the ice and they're happy to be there and they just push and push, which is awesome.
Yeah, that was one thing that I noticed at the women's camp that was down in Dunedin a couple of months ago, which, unfortunately you couldn't be there for. There was so much young talent there that, and, talking to the likes of Helen Murray and, Jamie Jones, they're just like, man, things are looking really good here. And Joe and I were looking at the rosters just before. There's players in this league that are like born in 2007, 2008.
It's just terrifying to even think about.
Yeah.
Like, I was graduating from university when I was born. It just makes me feel so old. But it is great to see that, there is young talent coming through and sort of pushing towards, black jersey honors and stuff like that later down the line. One thing that we really want to know, though, police seem to have quite a presence in New Zealand hockey. We see a lot in the men's game. There's some on your side as well. How do you juggle being an officer of the law plus inline hockey and ice?
They're really supportive. The police are super supportive. So even when I first joined, it was like, oh, well, you need to join police sport and, they'll help you out. And this is the application you need to do for sports leave and stuff. Like, people, they just love it. Because within the police in general, there's a lot of people that represent New Zealand across lots of different sports. And for them, I think it's cool because they get to see people playing at a high level and, these are our police doing really cool things and stuff. But no, shift work is hard. So when I was on frontline and things, that was hard to juggle purely because you're, sleeping during the day or it just clashes on the weekends. But since I've been in the CIB and stuff, it's pretty good. Yeah, I don't have too much of a clash. I feel sorry for my best mate, Rach, because she's just joined. Well, she's probably heading into a year and a half now. She's still on frontline and no, I can't make it this weekend. I'm like, come on, you can get it. She's like, nah, it's a short section. I'm like, nah, I get that.
One thing, talking with the young talent and stuff, I see one name on there, Katia Blong.
Yeah.
Just, going to be an absolute weapon for Auckland, of course, and for New Zealand. How do you rate the Steel's chances this season?
I think we're still in with a good shot. Like, I've looked at some of those team rosters. Like, I saw the Dunedin roster, and I was like, oh, my God. Like, look at this team. They're amazing. But there's a lot of fight in us Auckland girls, and we've got, like I said, those young girls are just so keen. So they just go and go and go, and I think that puts us in a good spot. But, yeah, wouldn't put us out. Not yet.
I love that attitude.
When are you guys going to get to play at home again? Because it's like
I'm not
Dunedin
sure.
for rounds 1 and 2, and then Queenstown for the finals.
Yeah, we were talking about the other day because it's a little disappointing because our families have supported us and stuff for years, and Mum was just saying the other day, oh, is anything in botany? I was like, no, nothing. And workmates, they're like, when can we come see you play? And I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's what you want, like you playing in botany and a giant police force just in the stands cheering and ignoring their calls on the radio. Yeah.
That's what everyone wants.
We'll get to that later on. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, it does suck. Like last year, you can kind of understand like COVID and having to reduce things, but this year, Logan and I have talked like it's pretty disappointing that it isn't a full schedule.
Yeah, it is quite short. But I don't really understand the reasons or anything behind it. I tend to stay out of it, but But for me, it's more just because I love the game. I'm like, oh, what do you mean we've only got 3 rounds? Like, I want to play. I'm just coming back. I want to play some hockey. But, yeah, let the powers that be sort that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is what it is at this point. Hopefully next year things will build up a bit more. I mean, I think I say this all the time, but especially now at the moment, I feel like New Zealand is really lucky. I've seen New South Wales ice hockey basically pull their season completely because of everything going on there in Sydney. And then, that affects obviously the AWIHL season or the AIHL season. There's New Zealanders over there that haven't played hockey in like maybe even 2 years. Oh. So, I mean, I'm glad that the likes of, like Hope Gregory is back.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad she's back and she's in a blue jersey. So it's even better.
Speaking of, I guess probably a really good steal of the season. You got Ricky Lee McLean.
Yes, I know. Yep. So we've stolen 2 of the Southerners and, man, they just put in so much work, like especially like Ricky off rink. Like I know her job entails a lot of that, but she's just constantly doing something, something active, and she's so fit. And then like she'll take off down the ice. I'm like, man, yeah, no, definitely a good steal between the 2 of them. And Hope's just an awesome player. I absolutely love playing hockey with her. So
yeah, when we talked to Kelly after we talk to you, we're just going to have to remind her about that.
Our 2 steals?
Yeah.
Just rub it in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky ran up the Sky Tower in full firefighting kit. Like, you don't get much more incredible than that.
No, absolute weapon. Yeah. I did. Just thinking about it makes me sleepy.
That's probably how I feel like watching the Olympics. You're just sitting on the couch with a bag of chips or a beer or something, and you're like, oh, yeah, no, you could have done better than that. But
yeah.
In the end, I mean, so many incredible athletes, in the New Zealand scene. So we can't wait to have you on the ice again. It's been a long time. We love watching you play, Jazz.
Thanks.
So thanks again for coming in, and yeah, we can't wait for the season.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.